My name is Adjournment LaRosa. I'm the chair of the Burlington Development Review Board. Due to a scheduling issue, I'm appearing remotely, and I'm going to call today's June 17th Development Review Board meeting to order. We will go through the items we have on our agenda in the order we have them. The first item we have on our agenda is 43 Mansfield Avenue. Caitlin Ostrander and Daniel Gerge down at Church. Demolition of existing one-story addition to construct new two-story addition with associated site improvements. Is the applicant here?
Yep.
Come on up.
AJ, this is Miles. I did the water and wastewater certification for Dan and Caitlin for their project, and I don't know if that'd be considered a conflict for this meeting, and I'm happy to stand out if you think so.
Yeah, why don't you just step out of this one, Miles? Right. Thank you for letting us know.
I'm abstaining from this meeting.
Yeah, you don't have to go away. You just abstain. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, does the applicant want to come up?
I'm apologizing because I have an error message coming up on Zoom. So as long as we can have AJ present. And anyways, I'm struggling a little bit with Zoom as an error message. So
sorry about that. I apologize. So if Donna, you're going to present for the applicant?
I am. Dan is here as well. So
right. And again, if there's a challenge to putting things up, we have the plans online. We see it online. So will you raise your right hand, please? Both of you. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is true and correct under the pains and penalties of perjury?
I do.
I do. All right. Briefly, if you would, just walk us through what you want to do.
Sure. I don't know. So you can't see my screen. Mary, can you see me? Or?
We do have the plans. We have,
yeah.
Okay. So, sorry, I thought I was going to be able to put it up on the screen.
Yeah, we thought it was
We'll get through.
share the screen since you're on the Zoom call.
Oh, here, I'm promoting you to a panelist, so you should be able to share. There you go. But they do have the plans in front of them.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so you can see, yeah, what I'm seeing. So this is the existing house. It's on Mansfield Avenue, just down here. There's a good bit of a green belt, and then the sidewalk, and at the back of the house, there's an existing one-story addition that we're looking to remove and then build a new. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the back of yeah. Yes. So existing house, we're taking off this section. And then the second floor, there's an existing 3-bedroom house, very tiny bedrooms with a 5'7" knee wall going up to 7'4" for the ceiling height. So this is the existing, this is that current addition we're looking to remove. This is the original house. And this is taking my mouse out of the back. There. This is what it looks from the other side. That's what it looks from the rear. So what are we looking to do? We're looking to take off that one-story addition and put a new addition to wrapping kind of at the back of the house. Moving the patio to the backyard, creating a side entrance with a mudroom, widening the driveway a little bit. There's an existing tree here that makes it a little bit hard to actually open the doors of 2 cars parked next to each other. And then add a second floor to the house. So the first floor, it's a mudroom, a living room, and dining room to the existing house. That's the existing house. The second floor will be extending what was the 3rd bedroom to make it a 3rd bedroom. That is something that you can walk into without having to tilt your head for the whole space.
Mm-hmm.
renovating the bathroom and adding a new primary suite at the back of the house. What it looks like, this is the original house in the front, and then off of the rear of the house. Because this front is considered historic, with the new addition off the back to make it distinct from the front, we changed the direction of the gable of the roof. And because of our wall heights, it is up higher, and at the front of the house is only that 1.5 stories high. So our goal was to make it, more livable space on the second floor.
Sure.
We matched the windows from the front to the same height and scale of the windows on the historic part of the building. But at the back, we've got the windows that help us meet egress requirements and just give us some more light into this space. This is our landscape plan, or that's the where we're gonna be stockpiling our dirt during construction. This is the landscape plan. There was existing trees that will be removed due to the new foundation here. There's some shrubs that are cedars that, depending on how much the excavation causes them to be removed. We'll remove them if we can save them, try to save them. And then this is the section of the building showing how, the front of the building is quite low, and then we're just going up to 8 feet at the back. We're gonna match the same 412 pitch on the roof between front and back. Yeah, and pretty much.
You're generally preserving the front half of the house.
Yes.
Using 4 square, sure.
Yep. Overall.
Yeah. Questions from anything else? I mean, I think we understand the project pretty well. It's nice renovation to an existing 4 square house to add living space. Any questions from the board?
I have a question for Mary. You said something about the DAB suggested it go to a previous. Is that?
No, we had originally submitted pretty much this design, and then Scott had advised us to change some things, which we changed, and then we got to the DAB and they said they liked the original design better,
So that's what this is.
that's what this is.
What did you change back?
So
This one.
Scott had suggested making the eaves match between the front addition or front of the house, the existing house. So that he wanted this eave line to come down to this point. So in doing that, without having a huge overhang, because with the 4 and 12 pitch, we would have had our overhang out this far. I ended up changing it to a scissor truss, pulling it down a little bit and still having it extend, but then it pushed the roof up higher and had, it did accomplish the matching eaves. And, everyone agreed that they would rather have a matching roof pitch than have a taller roof in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the pitch match.
I don't know, it's hard. The front house is so sweet. It's such a nice proportion thing. It's hard. This doesn't have the same proportions. It's hard that way. So that's the reality of it.
It's like if you're looking at the existing neighbors for the, next to.
That's where you sent some photographs, right?
Yeah. This house, it's pretty far back to begin with.
Yeah.
So, it's like your overall view, sorry, a little too quick. And then all of the buildings next door are really tall buildings.
Yeah.
And some of them actually have even bigger additions on the backs of them. So it's like, we kind of felt like, you know, keeping the addition to the back of the house left that integrity of the initial part of the
I
house.
think it makes sense. I mean, you know, obviously, having a 5'7" eve height is really hard to live with.
We've gotten taller over time, it seems.
And when your little girls really want a bunk bed and you don't have a wall you can put it on. So,
Could you go over the reasoning as to why you have chosen a 6-inch reveal in the clapboards rather than a small 3-inch?
it's a 4-inch, it's a 6-inch siding, but it'll be a 4-inch.
Before,
roof.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
it's,
was imagining a 6-inch reveal.
no. So that's you have to spec what siding you're using, so we're using the 6-inch siding, but the reveal ends up being 4 inches.
Okay.
Yeah, with extra money project, you could do expose raptor tails. It's called.
If the cedars have to be removed for the excavation, would there be? It looks like they're pretty tight. Are they providing like some screening between neighbors? Would you replant something there? Obviously not part of this.
Yeah, that's the plan. We've talked a lot actually with our neighbors and who are in support of this. So that, as they said, and have a keen eye for landscaping. And so it'll be a project that we'll collaborate on once it's all done.
Mary, I seem to remember some language about additions being subordinate to the original structure. Do you remember the?
I'll start with saying that I'm not the project manager,
Oh.
but I can answer that question. Yes, we're in several sections of the ordinance, including section 548 for the treatment of historic properties. That's the language you're remembering probably from your design advisory board days. In the adoption of the neighborhood code, there's a caveat in there in residential development that says, in no event shall the DRB limit the height to less than is allowed under the tables. So this is your first exercise. The intent of that, of course, was to encourage additional housing.
Yeah, and the language was new additions will not destroy historic materials, features, and spatial relations that characterize the property. The new work shall be differentiated from the old and will be compatible with materials, features, size, scale, and proportion, and massing to protect the integrity of the property and its environment. And then in no event shall it limit the height. So I think you have to sort of interpret that to allow the height to go up while still respecting the pre-existing historic form. Any other questions from the board? No? Are there any members there to speak on this? Somebody let me know. Are there any members of the public?
I see no hands up, AJ.
Okay. And nobody online to speak on this? No hands? Nope.
No hands.
All right. Well, with no further questions, I will close the public hearing on this and we'll deliberate on it tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Everybody.
And the next item on our agenda is 196 South Willard Street.
AJ, I received a voicemail and an email just prior to this meeting commencing that the applicant team intends to submit revised plans tomorrow. So they will not be here tonight.
All right, then I will make a motion to continue this application pending the receipt of revised plans to be rescheduled after staff reviews them.
Second.
Jeff Hand seconds. All those in favor? All right. And I don't think we have anything else on our agenda this evening. So that will conclude our public hearing. Thank you.